Now, guys, apologies if I haven't gotten your test back to you yet. I hope to have them all back to everybody this week at some point. If it's busy, as I'm sure you guys are experiencing as well. So, today, the first thing I want to do is go through the homework solutions from Friday's work. The first work that you had with the laws of indices, and that was on page 92, questions 4 to 6, in case you've forgotten, because it's been a couple of days. So let's look at question 4 to start with. We're using the law that when I multiply two bases, I have to add the powers. So this is the law that I'm using, and the question told me to do that. So I'm multiplying 5 to the power of 3 by 5 to the power of 2, which is just 5 to the power of 3 plus 2, or 5 to the power of 5. That's my final answer. So I'm going to skip this step and just add them straight away from now on. For part B, we've 8 to the power of 7 times 8 to the power of 3, and that is 8 to the power of 7 plus 3, 8 to the power of 10. Then we have 4 to the power of 3 times 4 to the power of 5, and that is 4 to the power of 3 plus 5, 4 to the power of 8. And part D, 2 to the power of 9 times 2 to the power of 12, which is 2 to the power of 9 plus 12, or 2 to the power of 21. So that's all we need to do there. Just add the powers when you're multiplying the bases. Question 5 then. We're using the same law, but now we have minus numbers inside. So if we have minus 5 to the power of 3 by minus 5 to the power of 7, that will be minus 5 to the power of 10. Okay. Now, there's something we want to note. A minus sign to any even power will always be plus. Why? What do I mean by that? For example, if I have minus 3 to the power of 2, that is a minus by a minus, which gives me a plus. It's plus 9 in my answer, not minus 9. Or if I have minus 2 to the power of 4, that is the same as plus 2 to the power of 4. It's going to be a plus 16 in my answer. So if you have an even power and a minus sign, you can cancel them out. So my final answer here would be the same as a plus 5 to the power of 10. So this answer is also correct. Now, if you didn't write that for your homework, that's completely understandable because you hadn't seen it before, but it's worth noting that those are the same thing. Then for the next one, if I've got minus 5 to the power of 3 times minus 5 to the power of 2, that is minus 5 to the power of 5, and I can't get rid of that minus sign. I can't change that into a plus because it's an odd power. Sorry, that was part C. It's just the way the book is laid out. Part B was minus 2 to the power of 6 times a minus 2 to the power of 3, which is minus 2 to the power of 9. And again, I can't simplify that because I have an odd power. And part D, minus 7 to the power of 3 times a minus 7 to the power of 5. We don't need to write in this multiplication sign, but the book did, so I'm just copying its notation. So I have minus 7 to the power of 3 plus 5, 8, and that's an even power, so I can write that as a plus 7 to the power of 8. Both of those have the same value. Okay, then question 6 was using our division law. When I have the same base to different powers and I'm dividing them, I subtract the powers, a to the power of p minus q. So for part A, I have 3 to the power of 7 divided by 3 to the power of 6. That is going to be 3 to the power of 7 minus 6, which is just 3. 3 to the power of 1, or 3 on its own. Part B, we have 2 to the power of 9 divided by 2 to the power of 3. And people tend to divide these in. That's 2 to the power of 9 minus 3, or 2 to the power of 6. Just 2 to the power of 6, like that. Part C, we have 10 to the power of 5 divided by 10 to the power of 2. That's 10 to the power of 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. That's 1,000, by the way. Some of them are easy to multiply out. Part D, 7 to the power of 12 over 7 to the power of 5 is 7 to the power of 12, take 5, 7 to the power of 7. 10 to the power of 8 divided by 10 to the power of 2, that's 10 to the power of 6, or a million, 6 zeros. Gives me a million. And part F, 8 to the power of 9 divided by 8 to the power of 3, that's 8 to the power of 9 minus 3, or 8 to the power of 6. Okay, so that's how we use the different laws. I'm hopeful that everybody was able to do most of those. Probably not the changing the minus sign to the plus, but if there's any part of that that didn't make sense to you, even after seeing the solution, if you have any questions, and I encourage you to put the questions on Google Classroom while you're watching the videos or while you're working through them. Okay, thank you.